So, TradingView launched a $50,000 competition where you can win as much as $10,000 doing paper trading, so that way more traders are intrigued to come to the TradingView platform. I entered my first trade and it looked like an A+ setup, but the market said differently. I want to show you what I saw and what I need to see differently or understand differently in order to make sure that my A+ trade is validated even more. It's a lot I learned, and I think this could be beneficial. Let's get into it. So in the previous video, what I saw that made me place the buy was centered around these signals. We had some daily buys, bullish conditions. It was multiple signals, and I believe I entered the trade somewhere around here. It was like, closer to the beginning of 29, and I had a take profit set up for around 29.5, so a little bit lower than this. And I had a stop loss set for around 28.7, give or take. Long story short, it hit that 28.7, so it was a loss of about 400, and I stood to gain 900 plus in profits. I did like a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, so it went in the opposite direction of my choosing. Now, here's the things that I did not do, and I went back and watched the video for myself so I can learn, because this is all a learning experience as I learn to make sure I use this A+ setup tool properly, but at the same time position myself to be profitable and document the journey. This is all documenting the journey and doing the paper trade. But during this paper trade competition, now I also want to position myself to see if I can win any of the things that are in the list to be won, as high as $10,000, but as low as a person getting 3 months of free TradingView services. So that's pretty significant. I think it will go out and spread to, I forget how many people, but maybe 50, so if you're in the TradingView competition, then but it spreads out pretty greatly, so a lot of people can benefit from this competition. Long story short, what I learned is, because I'm going to take my next trade, it'll be in a different video, but what I learned that I did not do is two things. Number one, I looked at the 4-hour, I looked at the 1 hour, I looked at the 30-minute, I even went down to some lower time frames, and I actually would have been in profit had I scalped and took profits early, but I wanted to set it and forget it, and that's what I did, and I hit the stop loss. I'm okay with that. It's all a learning journey. But what I did not do was go back to the daily. That's what I have to remind myself of to do on a regular basis, for the simple fact that the daily presented a scenario that showed, hey, this block, this right here, this box is operating as a level of resistance, meaning that once it hits that, it's likely to bounce off of it and go down a certain amount of time. Likely. Would it always happen? No. But that's something I did not pay attention to. But the biggest thing that I did not pay attention to is the news and the sentiment of the market at the time. With some of these tech companies showing signs of limited cash flow and the earnings report on certain things, it can cause a ticker like MNQ, which is based on the NASDAQ, which is based on the top 100 companies. It can cause a ticker like that to start trending downward. Does that mean it's a crash? Absolutely not. Not in the tech area, but for a short-term trade like what I was showing in the trade itself, then yes, it can cause it to trickle in a downward direction, and as a result, it hit my stop loss because I didn't zoom out enough to look at the daily and see that it's likely to go down after it bounced off of this. But I also didn't check the market sentiment to understand, hey, this is the type of news that's going on that puts a little bit of fear in people, that makes them think certain things. So it increases the amount of sellers who are selling off for a short time frame, which causes the stock to go down even more. So I'm glad I learned that lesson. Hopefully you learned it. If you didn't already know it, you probably already knew. You probably thought that wouldn't have been the trade you would have took, and that's perfectly fine. But as I learned, I want to document and be surgical when it comes to spotting and executing on A+ trades. If you want access to the tool that gives you high probability of getting the A+ trade setups, because you got to understand it's successful 80% of the time. So this was a part of that 20%. But if you want access to the tool so you can understand, okay, it's bearish, I see a sell signal, I see some momentum, I see the trending bars, okay, this is a trade that has a high probability, place trade. If you want access to that tool, that link is down below. But outside of that, that's all I got for this video. See you on the next one, because I do plan on getting something out of that TradingView challenge. And I hope you do the same. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute. Hey, and for the record, here's the losing trade, just so you can see it. Realize profit and loss. Demo, I did a reset on the demo just for the sake of this competition. 479.20. That was the losing trade. It stood to gain 900, a little bit close to 1,000. So basically, I entered the sell, had a stop loss set. Stop price was 28.75, 150 cent. That's where it got filled at. That's why I took the L. It was one contract. So just want to show full transparency as I document this journey and the challenge, but as a trader who's learning to become more profitable while leveraging this A+ setup system, but also at the same time paying attention to what's going on with the market, and now adding in the news factor so I can understand the market sentiment. If you want access to the tool, then you know what to do. So do what you know. If you want to just follow the journey, consider liking and subscribing, and follow me on this journey as I become a highly profitable trader, one step at a time, and show you what I see when I'm looking for A+ trades. Salute.